Hey everybody, listen to the Wombo podcast. I'm Chipmunk, and with me as always, the Mr. Gimpy. What's happening, sir?
Whole lot of nothing, dude. Whole lot of nothing. Just living life barely. I got a kid upstairs, you know.
You're in zombie mode.
That's what it is.
Taking care of
zombie mode, dude. This is my like we're just now getting to the pod. We usually do it in the morning for everyone listening. When we're recording, it's fucking mid-afternoon right now. This is my third cup of coffee. Yeah.
Like I woke up like late, dude. I was out there living. I turned on my AC, and like it's like on a stack because it's like a condo. It's like a tower. I live in a wizard tower. The imps downstairs. So I get like hit with like all the dust from like the forges.
Yeah.
Dude, like what I'm doing down there, dude. Like I just get like fumigated. It's like every time I turn on my air, like my allergies like just explode. So that's what I'm blaming for like oversleeping. Like it happened to me last week too. Yeah, like my face. But I know this now, so like I shut off my AC a little bit before I go to bed, and I turn on like my air purifier and all this other stuff. Living out here, bro. Just barely.
For sure. Yeah, man. I can't even like truly blame the sick kid for being super late and oversleeping. So my wife's never seen The Sopranos. I've seen it years ago, as it was new. And it was a show my dad and I enjoyed watching together. So
people love it.
We saw the series together. But now my wife's enjoying it. Like I walked by our bedroom and I heard that familiar theme song. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun, right? And I was like, I did one of these things where I'm walking by, and I pause, I stop, I slowly turn and come back. Here? Like. Hold
Spider sense is tingling, dude.
Watching Sopranos, and she's like, "Yeah, it's pretty good."
Like, why does this happen?
And I'm looking, I'm trying to discern where she is in the series. I'm like, did this happen yet? She's like, no.
Spoilers, dude.
And I looked, but I didn't. It wasn't true, like I didn't mention character names or whatever. I was like, did Tony do this? And she's like, no, he didn't. I was like, okay, and I stopped and watched an episode with her. She's like on the second episode of the first season. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I walk away.
Just started.
I come back and she's watching it all day. Then later in the night, I'm like, okay, this. I gotta sit down. So we sat down and just started plowing through Sopranos. Man, next thing I know, so we're watching it on HBO Max. HBO Max is not like other streaming services where it'll
still
stop.
Different.
It'll stop and ask you, "Are you still watching?
You want to keep going? Yeah,
you want to keep going." They don't do that. They just keep going, right? So I'm so used to the other streaming services have conditioned me to have this power.
Like I'll just keep going till like it pauses, then I'll like reconsider my life decisions.
Yeah, I go. So I'm gonna go until it tells me to stop, or I have to get up and go to the bathroom or something. By the time I had to get up and go to the bathroom, my wife's been asleep for like 3 or 4 episodes. I look outside, the fucking sun's coming out. I'm like, oh shit!
It's getting blasted.
I refused to look at my phone to see what time it was. I just went to sleep. I woke up to the alarm, and then it said, because I picked up my phone to plug it in, and I looked and seen where the charging time started. 5 a.m. I stayed up till 5 a.m. watching the goddamn Sopranos.
Just live it, dude. You're not the first person.
Yeah.
You won't be the last.
I fell asleep immediately. So I'm one of those people who just, as soon as I decide to close my eyes, I'm out. So
yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty
must
sure
be nice, dude.
5:06, because I plugged my phone in at 5:05. So,
dang.
But yeah,
I wish I had some cool story like that, dude. I was like,
that's not a cool story. That's like the most middle. That's like, okay.
I've been getting lost in just listening to like other podcasts, and I was doing some I was listening to old episodes of our podcast, the Combo Wombo podcast. Like, share, subscribe. I was just trying to build out level stuff for this game. I've been working on, so I've been doing that most this week, dude. Just grinding.
You've been jumping in progress on that bad boy, dude. I think I think your workflow has been sped up, not only with iterations of you continually doing game dev, but your discovery and just love of Trench Broom. So your rough laying out of levels seems to be super fast, and then you just drop that texture on. And I know it's more work than just that, but I am so impressed with the speed in which you're getting this prototype done.
It's Trench Broom's turns out like they figured it out back in the day, dude. Like it's just like simple, like things on a grid. Like that's it. Like it's all math based. So it's just like, all right, if I know like my jump is exactly, I did run into some issues on my first level, but as to be expected. So I put everything exactly like 6 squares apart because I'm using like a simple grid, tile layout.
Sure.
And
I put them exactly. Explain what Trench Broom is for anyone who's just jumping in.
It's like a level editor that was designed for Doom.
Quake,
Quake, Doom, Quake, original Doom. Like all the id Software stuff it works with, Quake 1, 2, 3, Doom 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And but you can export things as an object, and I use Blender, then I import it into Unity right now. And there's like some scaling issues, some other stuff, but like on the whole, like I use like this same grid texture that I use in Unity in Trench Broom, and that allows me to like scale properly. So originally, like everything was like 6 squares apart on this grid, and then I realized like that's a perfect jump. And like as I was like practicing the level, I was like, yeah, I suck at like hitting precise jumps. So I was like, I need to like close these in a bit. So I like moved it to like 5, apart. But I've been using that, and then I've been leveraging AI. So I've been using that Mid-Journey, dude, and I used old magazine pictures of Mario 64 levels. So I was like, hey, design me new Mario 64 levels based on these magazine images. And it came out like, kind of like Nightmare Fuel, but not bad. Like it's like a very dream
concept, dreamscape-esque.
Like levels. But like that's enough as an artist, not to be too pretentious.
Not to be too pretentious, but I'm an artist. So.
Yeah, I consider myself a bit of an artist. I need was it a baguette? Is that what artists wear?
A baguette's a piece of bread, brother.
Yeah, dude. Just make a piece of bread hat, dude.
All right.
Anyway, I'm gonna be nibbling on a baguette, smoking cigarettes, dude. Listening.
Are you a fucking mime in France?
Yeah, dude. That's what artists are, dude. I thought you knew.
All right.
Yeah. So like I can take like those like ethereal ideas and then like be inspired by that, and then go into Trench Broom and like rough out stuff roughly based on that, based on like what good pixel density for jumps. And then like I feel like all video games get designed in an Excel spreadsheet on some level. Like if you want to like really speed up your workflow,
you say Word for me. Yeah.
Oh dude, as soon as you get in bro, let me tell you the good word about Excel spreadsheets.
It's Word with like Excel spreadsheets within it. Like the tables. I have tables within my game Bibles, and then I take those tables and put them in what I'm working on. But go on.
I think this is maybe the telltale sign that I'm not a programmer, because I found that I can program pretty easily, like in Excel spreadsheets, to like figure out like damage, distance, all this other stuff. So what I did was like I made like a square grid in Excel, and then I was like, all right, I know basically the rough dimensions of like what I want a level to be based on the amount of time it takes to get from one side to the other side. So I wanted like a 64 by 64 grid max size. And then if I lay that out, I know it's going to take like roughly like 2.5 minutes to like beat a stage, which is perfect because I'm designing it for like the mobile, that Kishi controller that I bought.
Yes.
I talked a little bit about last week, maybe.
You did.
Maybe this week. I don't know.
You did. You shit all over it.
I did, because there's no games for it. So I was like, I can make games. I consider myself a bit of an artist and a game developer from time to time. So I was like, yeah, let me just throw this out. The controller works, man. So I've been, that's been really the most inspiring thing. And you did that for me, because back when I was like making games, I was like, yeah, man, I've been like trying to develop way back in Generic Quest, a game I never finished. But like I was like, yeah, man, I've been like working on this, and you're like, I kind of like tippered off. I stopped making progress, and you're like, oh, you got controller support in there? I'm like, no, and you're like, need controller support, bro. And I was like, whatever.
Feel like a game. It's what we grew up with.
Yeah, 100%, it really does. There's something about that, dude. Like as soon as you like building, like you have it in your hand and you're like playing it, you're like, yeah, this is kind of cool. This is something. This is really something more than just ideas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I went to Excel, laid it all out. So I know like basically dead area, usable area. Then like if I look at like spawn area, I know there's like you just like you break it down to like basic math equations where like I know like if I want to have a start position and I want like a border area to like keep you boxed in so you don't fall off the world, I'm going to use like 2 spaces on that. So
sure.
And then I know like within my spawn area, I want like 4 boxes around that. So I know there's like 21 possibilities for a start area, and then like
21.
20, and then that leaves like like several potential spaces based on like that grid layout or whatever. So
sweet.
Yeah, you get to get some inspiration. So I've outsourced a lot of the work.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. For me, dude, you've been grinding, dude. It's apparent. Whenever I like look at my phone or I jump on like computer and I see Chipped Monk online, you're in Blender. Like this week, you've been in Blender like 98% of the time. I think you stopped to play League with the boys for a little bit, but other than that, dude, you were in Blender the whole time. So props to you for grinding. Don't burn yourself out. But dude, it's looking clean. So excited to see what you do over the next couple
nothing
days, weeks.
groundbreaking, it's easy.
No,
just stealing from the master.
Breaking ground, right? It's about just getting it done and getting your ideas out there, right?
And you're the person who also told me this was like platformers are deceptively simple, like where you're like, oh, this will be easy to do, but 100%. There's like such a feel to it, like so like I told you like the other day where I'm like, I spend like maybe like 2-3 hours just on like technical work that like nobody will notice, but you'll notice if it doesn't feel right. You're like, this doesn't work. And I couldn't tell you why, but like, I know why. And that's why I spent like 3 hours just messing with just fine tuning things,
Yeah. Let me tell you this story. When Sir Solace Shout and I were first dabbling in game dev together. Our very first project we decided upon was a platformer called Nimble. There's still some Twitter posts out there if you look at the Danger King's Twitter and stuff, showing early concept art, early levels, and stuff like that.
Did you put that up somewhere?
No, we never completed it. I still have all the assets. I have the prototype we made. We made 3-level prototypes, but we realized we were just starting out. We were out of our depth. Truly.
Yeah. And you're like, it's deceptive because, right? You're like, it's a platform, right? I could do this easy. Yeah. They figured this out.
Our code was very unoptimized. Our assets were unoptimized. For a 2D game to be so bloated and loading so fast, we definitely needed to learn more. So we started doing smaller and smaller projects. We did game jams and stuff, and that helped us. But we never went back. And it's something that I'll always look at and go, this is the inspiration, this is the start. So I love that project. I don't think it'll ever be completed, but I absolutely love it. But what we discovered when doing this is, you're right. It's all down to feel. You can have a great level, but you don't have ledge forgiveness. The level's hard or the game feels stiff and rigid. So we learned about ledge forgiveness. If you decide to not have a wall slide and your platforms are too far apart, you either have to make multiple platforms to jump, maybe a jump puzzle with some of the enemies, or institute a double jump to circumvent that and then increase movement. So I think this day and age, you can't really make a platformer and expect to have any level of success, even a modicum level of just one person playing your game, because you have like one jump. You need to have it. So you press and hold jump, you jump a little higher, you tap it, you jump a little slower, or shorter.
It's like momentum, speed.
Yeah. And then there's character
distance.
Speed, there's character momentum, and then there's things like the camera. Like a lerping camera, so you want the character to how far towards the screen do you want the character to go before the camera starts moving. You don't want to make a platformer where the character is completely centered the entire time because it doesn't feel like you're moving anywhere. The game lacks that visceral feel of you progressing through a world. So a lot definitely goes into the platformer. And then on top of that, you have the level design, things like that, which people are like, oh, you just do this, this, and this. Sure, if you want to have crap. But I believe Mario Maker really just ingratiated in me just how to properly make a platform level. And I have a few projects that I did as proof of concepts. The rope thing that I showed you before, Chip, that I had an idea of. Do you remember I made that rope that it was like a grappling hook, you'd swing and then go up or whatever? Yeah. Still have that code just lying around, but that was not only for me, but it was for realizing a gimmick, because for a platformer you need to have some sort of gimmick to separate you from every other platformer. You can't get by with making Jumpman. Even Mario himself is not just about jumping from one platform to the other anymore. He has so many different moves that Mario is the king of deceptively simple. game creation, and I absolutely applaud it. I keep a figure of Mario on my desk
just
when I'm working on games.
Reminder.
As a constant reminder. Yep, as a constant reminder.
It's so ubiquitous. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it really
is.
Yeah,
what have you been up to, dude? What's going on in the trenches over there? Besides Soprano.
Besides Sopranos? Yeah. I have gone full bore into our other secret project. I got the voice acting done.
Nice. That's huge.
I developed a script to auto lip sync.
All right,
using some stuff I learned from work, actually. So that's cool. I have it switching on annotations, so to switch the mouth side. So that was cool. And I got I have some animation stuff on my work laptop. So when I'm there's a day per week where I don't have childcare. There might be 2 days a week now, but so I'm not. I can't work down here. I work upstairs, and my son's running around, and my daughter's at school. But there's a time where he's just like watching a movie, and I have like kind of an hour or two to myself, and work has been dying down, so I've been taking that time to get and then start animating. So we had the scenes you made, and I'm doing some animation. So that's what I've been working on, and I cannot wait to show everyone on the Combo Wombo pod. So I'm really just developing a workflow now for that project. The second thing I've been doing is pretty big.
All right, man. You don't need to say it like that, dude. That's kind of
no.
There's a weird lead in there.
We did.
Just lay it out.
I feel one thing that we should do on this pod is
spill the beans.
Open ourselves up a little more to everyone. The people who have been here each and every week listening to us, going, "Hey, what did they do this week?" That's fucking awesome. You and I had that VR session last week. I compiled that into a video.
Nice.
That's by the time this posts, it's already going to be up. So feel free to check
that
out.
YouTube?
On YouTube, yeah. On our YouTube, Wombo Wombo YouTube. So, I did that too. And I'm trying to get it to a point where I have days where I can just focus on one thing and have the workflow to continually focus on it. You sent me a pod with Rick Rubin about realizing creativity. But also there was some solid stuff about workflow and having your workflow continually fuel. Yeah, having your workflow continually fuel creativity, right? Because if your workflow is so rigid, you cannot be creative in that rigidity, continually be creative with a rigid environment. You need space to flex. So
you have time to decompress, relax, recharge. He talks about recharging and watching wrestling and stuff.
Yeah. So the biggest thing I took from that, it was 3 hours long. Like I probably have to listen to it again, honestly, to get everything. But was the recharge time, because when I'm working on something big
this dude lives like such a lavish life. He's like, I wake up and then I walk on the beach for a couple hours. He's like, I have like a good meal, and it's like, all right, bro, that's good. Like if you already made it, bro, like that sounds awesome. But like everybody else is like, I gotta get up and get to work, dude.
Right.
I don't have that. He's like, taking the waves, and it's like, okay, yeah.
But I look at it this way, because I've been kind of doing that though, man. Because I have I have this project that was going to take like 6 months to a year at my day job, and there's downtime where they're expected. Like if you're downtime, you're working on that project. But then I realized, why? I don't get anything else from getting it done early. I'll just get a new project assigned to me. So I've been taking that time to decompress,
Dang, bro, you've made it. I feel like that's the first step to middle age, is like, you're like, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. Like if I finish early, they're just going to give me more at work. I'm just going to get the things done at task as assigned, dude. Like, I don't know. It's
I've been using it to just kind of better my environment, better my mindset. It's made going to work every day easier, because I know like,
you shouldn't be stressed out, dude. Like you shouldn't be like putting all this extra shit on your plate, dude. I feel like a lot of people forget that, because like we both kind of grew up with like the grind mindset of like, we gotta like hustle.
Yeah, I've worked since I've been 16.
Yeah, I've been like since 14 for me. But like we've always been like, I've been working longer than I haven't been working, man. Like full time. There's like definitely, as you're coming up, it's like as shittier jobs, they just like try and get like every second of productivity out of you. But like as you like get further in your career or develop as an adult, like they pay you for like what you know, not like what you can do like per minute. Because like back in the day, it's like, oh, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Pick up a broom, like do other things, like start wiping down counters, do whatever. You gotta be looking busy. Whereas like now, it's like you're paying me for what I know and the value I bring to this company, not arbitrary productive things that I could be also doing that you're not paying me for. That's not within the scope of my job. And it's, I don't know, it's hard to like stand up for yourself, especially like when you have like that mindset of like, no, I could get stuff done, I could do so much more, I'm overqualified for this job, blah blah blah. And it's like, no man, just calm it down. Like you put that energy into like your own things for yourself, because like you shouldn't be stressed out at work, man. Like,
it's not even the stress of it, but it's putting so much on my plate to where it's overwhelming, So I'm like, if I can do things that are still fun and I still find them fun, even though I'm doing them for a while, then I'm in a good spot. Working on the other project has been fun. Working on game creation has been fun. When it doesn't feel fun.
You're even before this pod, you were warning me. You're like, hey man, like don't burn yourself out with like what you're doing. I think maybe even we even touched on it a little bit here, where it's like, I try to balance as well, man. But like, do fun things, man. What else have you been doing? It's fun, man. What's going on?
Exactly. So that's really been it. If I start getting to the point where I'm frustrated with something, I've been able to walk away, have some fun. I've definitely embraced VR a lot more, because it's cold as shit outside where we live. I'm not going outside for anything, dude. But I need to get up and move. So VRing has definitely helped with that. It's helped with just even the creative spark. Because when if you're creatively stuck, people are all like, get out, walk around, use your body, stuff like that. It's kind of hard when it's fucking -12 outside. So, people are like, I love it. No, fuck that. But it's been helping to continually keep the ball moving. And I've just been having a good time with just living life, man. I've been
nice.
Definitely
Spend
more available
with the kids,
to family, friends,
with the wife.
With the wife, we've like even chores around the house I've been even more upbeat about, because I've just been going, don't do things so much where I start hating them, like doing laundry, right? It's like, oh, you got 14 loads of laundry, you're gonna be doing it all day. Why? Do a couple a day, get some fun into it. Not every day has to be full bore work. And
I've been setting like alarms. Like I'll just, because it's not like you have to sit there and watch the laundry, dude. Like it's like I put a load in, set a timer, and then I'm like, all right, I got like 30 minutes to do this other thing, and then boom, come back, throw it on the drum. I'm like, all right, set like a 45-minute thing, do this other thing, come back, boom.
Man.
Or like I'll use that as like fun time too, dude. Where I'm like, I got like half an hour, watch like some anime, and then I'm like, all right, I got an hour, I'll watch a movie, and then like I'll switch it out, and then I'm like, all right, now I can do something else. But it's like it's not even a thing where it's like, oh, I gotta do this. It's like, all right,
it's been fantastic, dude. Honestly,
nice.
Over the past 2-3 weeks, I've been I don't want to say a new outlook, but a more refined outlook on
a refreshed outlook,
what
dude.
I
More mature,
and what my immediate future in my own creativity is bringing.
A 23 outlook, dude.
Yeah, man, it's been good. As far as the gaming side of it, you know what? We're gonna complete some projects this year. We're gonna.
All right, big things.
On
big
the
business.
Playing video game side of it, I've been we got to play Ultimax the other day. That was fantastic. I had a blast with that. I streamed Valheim in VR with my wife and had a blast.
Yeah.
We got killed at the end of the stream by this giant jellyfish monster that was horrifying and made War of the Worlds sounds. With like the savages, shout out everybody in that Discord. I've definitely made myself more available to just chill out and play games, man. I've kind of adopted the thing of, if I'm not doing anything, if someone's like, hey, you want to play this game, even if it's a game I'm not super interested, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Chill with the boys. It's been fun, man. It's been
try to do that too as well. Usually when I'm on Discord, if somebody's like, hey man, what are you up to? I'm like, no, nothing. What's up?
Yeah. It's been good, man. I think the big thing is, keep. We have this podcast about game creation and this creative outlook, and then just gaming news in general. But
there's any gaming news out there, dude? What's going on?
There's a little bit. We got a little bit of time.
What happened, man? What's up?
Layoffs.
Damn. That Q1, dude.
Microsoft announced they're laying off 10,000 employees, and
that's huge a lot.
swath of people from 343 just got canned. There's been rumor of 343 being removed from development from the Halo series, and they're going to be overseeing a third-party studio.
We've talked about that here on the pod before, where we're like, where like I wouldn't mind like them giving somebody else, like one of their other studios, a shot at it.
Very true.
I don't know if anything could bring new energy to Halo, though. I feel like the expectations, the fans have been let down so many times. Like, I don't know, like even when they did like their creation mode or whatever, like the level builder,
Forge.
I was hoping, Forge, their new Forge. I was hoping that Halo Infinite would be like, all right, this is the thing. But it seemed like it got a lot of heat like that first 2 weeks of like, yo, somebody made this level, check out this, and then like well, they also didn't implement it very well, where it's like the only way to get those levels was like you had to have that person as a friend and like go through, subscribe to all this. It was like this, any pain point you put on like a purchase, even if it's free, like you're going to dissuade, 20% of the people, every little blockade you put up.
True.
But like people were trying, they're like, oh, they're making Discord communities and stuff of like, oh, these are YouTubers were putting up like their favorites, and they're like, all right, I got links, blah blah blah. Like, it was a real grassroots effort to try and breathe new life into that game, and people are just like, I don't give a shit anymore, dude. They're like, I don't care.
It needs official support, and it's been lacking. And then there's no news on the single player DLC for it. They're radio silent for no good reason. There's a point where I discussed this with the Psychedelic Savages. They're like, Crab was like, maybe it's time to let the series die. Rip.
Let the past die. Kylo Ren, you dude. He's like, kill the past.
Halo being my favorite FPS, and keep in mind, I've played them all. I've played them all.
Dang. There's a lot.
At this point, playing it, even though I enjoyed Infinite when I was playing it, just the lack of support really kind of hurt the game and hurt me. Because
took it personal, dude.
It's because Halo was the one thing, like growing up, like that's what we played. That's what we always played. You could go over to anyone's house, they'd all have Halo. We just play it for hours, And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what made us play that the whole time? It's not just because it was the only game in town. It's not just because it was super fun. It was the camaraderie,
It's like lost promises
there was
too.
Love from the creators, like Bungie, when they had it, even like in the early days of online console gaming, they had events all the time. They showcased community content. It was easy to get a hold of them. They were involved. 343 doesn't feel involved. Other games, they feel way more involved than Halo. And once Bungie left, 343 has never reached the community input that Bungie did, and then the rabid fan base too it's just, we've been disappointed with Halo 4, Halo 5.
And people have been, like, oh, the fans are being like unfair and stuff, but it's like we're holding you not to like weird expectations, but like things that they said themselves. They're like, oh, going forward, Halo will always have local, co-op, and they're like, oh, sorry, not this one, not this one. We got on this one, but not that one. Just like, it's like, bro, like stop writing checks your ass can't cash, bro. Like nobody's like forcing you to go out there like say this stuff. It's like, sure, that's what the fans want, but like if you just came out and be like, set expectations accordingly, and then like you're like, oh, why are people so upset just because we keep like straight up lying to you? I don't get it. Try and gas you like, oh, that's kind of not what we meant. It's like, dude, we're in like a weird abusive relationship with like the Halo developers at this point, dude.
Exactly. There's a quote from my good buddy Poison. Let me just pull it up here because we were chatting together about this whole Microsoft news, and he said that with Game Pass, Microsoft seems like they are going for quantity over quality, and that they only expect their games to last for a year and then on to the next thing. There's no long-term plan, and it looks prettier to advertise that we have 1,000 games that you can play for $16 a month on Game Pass than it is going, we have 3 fucking world-class games that you can play on Game Pass for $16. He's right. as much as I think Game Pass is a great deal for gamers, and I have it, and it's led to me playing a lot of games.
But I have it, and I haven't really been using it, but I have it still.
Beating a lot of games. No, it has not, because of choice.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think Game Pass could probably, they already feature a game whenever they come out. I think they could go more in depth. I think they could give you more rewards for playing their featured game. I think that, a reward for beating the game, maybe physical prizes. Maybe
they got to work on the user interface a bit too, dude.
Interface is shit. Yeah, agreed.
It's like, bro, I'm using a controller. Why is it laid out like this? Like, there's like no options for like alphabetical. There's like no way to like.
There is. I think they just have. There's a filter. There's a filter.
Okay. They finally added it. It's like a pain in the ass to get to. Yeah, that should be like day one, dude. Is like have this where I can lay it down by like genre, name, like
you can do all that.
People that like favorite stuff.
The filter does everything you just mentioned, bro.
Nice. It's about time, dude. Like wherever that filter is, I got to figure that shit out. It was not like
it's up right. You got to like key over to it. It's dumb. But yeah. But yeah, man. I think that with Sony only having a few exclusives a year that are worth a damn, Microsoft it's like their point to come over with bangers, and they just haven't yet. Even if they do have a banger, they don't stick with it long enough to have the public catch up. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
That I agree. I definitely agree. Like, just based on my own like Xbox Game Pass usage, I agree. Like the quality's not quite there. Like I've probably played like a dozen games, but like for less than 4 hours on each of them, where I'm just like, I'll get into something, and because there's like so much stuff where I'm like, if a game really doesn't hook me, I'm just like, I don't really want to play any more of this. Like, even if like it's like interesting, but like if I had paid money and like have more of an investment, maybe I would finish it. But I just have like so much choice where it's like, if this game isn't good, dude, I'm done. And there's a lot of games in there that just aren't good. Like
they're not good in the first 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. It requires like a bigger investment. And like you said, there's definitely ways you could put more upfront of like what makes this a compelling experience for you to continue on. Like maybe like, I don't know, maybe there's in some filter or something, like show like all the achievements that are possible in a game. Show like, but like, I know some people wouldn't want to see it because they're like, oh, it's kind of like leads to like spoiler territory and stuff. But bro, like in this day and age, it's like if you can't hook somebody in that first like half hour of your game, like it's basically dead. Like especially if it's like on a service like that's streaming.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's
we're living in the age where the Sega Channel has come back and Microsoft hasn't realized that. Yeah, man, there needs to be a better way. Maybe
and like the quality really moves systems. Like that's like the big tadpoles are like what's going to move your system.
The quality of game has moved systems. Yeah, it's very true. But yeah, man, that's our time, brother. Any thoughts to end it all? I know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like if you lost your job or part of Xbox or whatever. Like I'm sorry to hear that. Like I know that they had a bunch of acquisitions, and so hopefully it's like a lot of overlap. They're not just arbitrarily firing people, but like big corporations have done that in the past. They just look at like people as a spreadsheet on a number, and they're just like, well, we need to cut this and stuff. And it's unfortunate, man. Like you don't want it to happen, especially like
it's the sole reason I work for a small company.
Yeah. And like they clearly have been profitable like this last year and stuff too. It's not like they're like losing money. They're like, how can we make more money? So, good luck out there if you're out there, job searching and stuff. It's sad. We're talking mad shit about Xbox and stuff, but like,
I don't think we're talking shit. I think we just want more out of it.
Yeah, we're holding do better, Xbox.
They have a fantastic platform. I think they have a fantastic system. Just
a lot of great IPs, a lot of great people working there. Yeah,
since Psychonauts 2, I haven't played anything on Xbox.
Yeah, give your creators tools to like help improve like all of your systems and games and stuff. Like, I don't know, they've been traditionally pretty good at that, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think maybe we might be too early in the current gen console life cycle too.
Yeah,
there's time.
Yeah, it's definitely time. Turn that ship around. This is a Combo Wombo podcast. Chipmunk.
Like, share, subscribe, Mr. Gimpy right here. See you next time. We out of here.
Yabish.
Ah, you got me.